What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. Please disregard the fact that I sound like I've been run over by a truck. We are back, and between episodes, I actually took the time to get a few of these Umbral incursions and Umbral duty, these sorts of quests to get memory fragments done. So we're going to talk to the Exo Stranger really quickly, and we're going to actually pick up a few of these fragments. I believe I have 2, so let's see what we got here. Let's see how we can boost our Stasis subclass a little bit. So Whisper of Hedrons dramatically increases weapon stability, weapon aim assist, weapon airborne effectiveness, mobility, resilience, and recovery after freezing a target with Stasis. However, it also comes with a cost of 10 strength. You've got Whisper of Fissures, increase the damage and size of a burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. Really good one, by the way, where it's probably going to end up being one of the 2 I pick up. Defeating slowed or frozen targets grants you class ability energy. With your abilities last longer. For those abilities that linger, their duration will also increase. You also get a buff to strength with that one. Whisper of Bonds, defeating frozen targets grants you super energy, although you get a discipline and intellect reduction. Shattering a stasis crystal temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Shattering additional stasis crystals increases the duration of the benefit and a resilience buff. This one is, while you are near frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets and plus 10 recovery. You gain grenade energy each time you take damage from targets. Your melee energy recharges faster when you are near 2 or more targets, but reduction to discipline. Damaging targets with a stasis melee reloads your stowed weapons and grants you a temporary boost to weapon ready speed. Nearby stasis shards track to your position. This goes in conjunction specifically with one of the aspects, which we still haven't yet unlocked. We have primary weapon ammo do increased damage to stasis crystals, so you can break those a lot easier. Increase the melee energy gained from picking up stasis shards, and collecting a stasis shard grants a small amount of overshield, which falls off after 10 seconds. Collecting additional shards adds to the overshield and refreshes the timer. So, we've gone over all of those. I am going to be grabbing myself a Whisper of Rending, first things first. So let's take that, and then we're going to be grabbing a Whisper of Fissures. So we have these, but the problem is there's not really like a whole lot we can do with it at the moment. We can equip 1 as of right now, and I think for that I will equip Whisper of Fissures just because we have Shatter Dive. We still have more aspects to get ourselves, which we will, but we have to continue working on the Born in Darkness quest. Now, for this, I have to defeat House Salvation near the Crux of Darkness in Re's Reborn approach, which we're going to head that way, but we're going to be taking care of a couple of other things along the way. Our first stop is actually going to be the Asterion Abyss, and then followed by the Eventide Ruins, which obviously leads to Re's Reborn approach, so that we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because we are still working on the Salvation's Grip quest. If you remember, that quest is this one right here, Stasis. No, sorry, not Stasis Prototype. I have it backwards. It is this one, Lost Lament. We found one of the dead Exos in Cadmus Ridge. We're going to find the 2 in the other 2 major locations here on Europa. So I'll see you all in the Asterion Abyss in just a moment. Okay, so we are here in the Asterion Abyss. Now, if you remember correctly, going down into this structure will take you to, like, the Well of Infinitude and whatnot. It's where the Glassway Strike takes place. Before we go to it, we're going to want to turn to our immediate right, and there's a snowbank that leads up onto the frozen lake up above. Right down at the bottom of the snowbank is our dead Exo.
It'll be time for another reboot. I have all the signs. They say I should do it now. Get it over with. But I don't want to forget. Not anymore. I try to record all I can, but how can I possibly describe how it felt to hold my son? My son? Is this the child in my dreams? The one that says, "What does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God."
Yeah, the Exos have been through some stuff. One of the things that's incredibly important to Exo lore is just how much pain and suffering they had to endure upon countless memory resets, just trying to eventually have a body that actually works and didn't reject their brain, or vice versa. It's really kind of scary existential stuff when you really think about it, but you get a lot of that when you go through the Exo lore here in the Beyond Light expansion. All right, I'm going to be seeing you guys in... oh, wow, this is really strong weather. I'm going to see you guys in Eventide Ruins in just a second, and we will go after the next dead Exo, so see you in just a moment. Okay, so when you actually spawn directly into the landing zone, you will see a strangely lit area over this way, and that's where we're going to want to immediately head. If you don't know what this is in comparison to other activities, this is actually the entrance to the Deep Stone Crypt raid, actually. So we're going to kill all the enemies in here really quickly because they are right next to where we need to be. And we're supposed to kind of look around a pillar that is up in this area. It's around here somewhere. I believe it's this pillar right here. But I'm actually going to kill these guys first before I do anything crazy here. Use that. Oh, yeah, Whisper of Fissures is so good. So unbelievably good. Okay, I believe, is it this pillar? Or, it's one of these pillars around here. Sorry, I was looking at the natural columns when I should have been looking at this concrete one here. There you are.
Your voice down. He's right down the hall. What if he hears you? It never hurts to be discreet. Who knows? Those maladapted microchips could be transmitting back to their ultra motherboard or something. Are you sure? They could be playing dead. You said so yourself. Not even Mr. Bray seems to know what he's on about. Seriously? You think they're drawing us into a trap? What have we been harvesting then? The cannon fodder? Even if you're right, I find it hard to believe Clovis Bray doesn't have a backup plan. He may be egocentric, but he's not stupid.
We'll have to meet him a little bit later. So this right here, this is the entrance to the Deep Stone Crypt raid. In case you're ever wondering where that is, that hatch opens up and then it takes you in when you actually start the darn thing. All right, I am going to set Born in Darkness Part 2, and we are going to be heading off to Reese Reborn Reproach, and we're going to take care of that fallen platoon, and I will see you all there in just a moment. Okay, here we are, right through the portal, and suddenly the crux is before us. Well, are we going to be able to do the thing? Oh, that sounds like a big enemy. Hold on. There we go. All right, let's just start with a standard super here. Probably not going to do a ton of damage, but there we go. The grenade will do a lot. Oh, Whisper of Fissures, you are just beautiful. So nice to have, honestly. I'm going to let the super finish you off so I can get a Here Always piece out of it. We need to get quite a few more of those if I want to continue. But there we go. Born in Darkness Part 2 is done. Now we need to bring the skeleton key to the Exo Stranger in the Perdition Lost Sector in Cadmus Ridge. So let's head on over that way, and I will meet you at the end of the Lost Sector.
Clovis may have been a bastard, but he was a brilliant one. He hid decryption algorithms for his journal all over Europa. Found one. It's in this console. Bring the key to it. We told her she was adopted, Anna. It was simpler than telling her about our father's infidelity. But it was more than that. Anna had some destructive tendencies as a child. Reminded us all of the old man himself. Our mother thought if Anna believed she wasn't one of us, she'd dodge our grandfather's genetic cruelty, as she called it. I never bought it. Cruelty isn't genetic. It's learned. Clovis chose to be evil, and Anna was just a child acting out after losing her father. But in my original timeline, my dark future, Anna eventually found her own brand of cruelty, thanks to the darkness. It used her troubled past to manipulate her, and she wasn't strong enough to resist, and I had to put an end to it, to my little sister's life. There was no other choice.
You killed Anna?
In my dark future, yes. Truth be told, I miss her. But in this timeline, she doesn't even know that I'm alive. That's by my own design. This time, I kept her away from her past and from me to prevent the darkness from getting to her. But no matter what I do, it still finds a way. Eris Morn gave in to curiosity and brought the darkness. Aramis gave in to desire and built a dark empire. As with all things dark, they were both driven by obsession. Because that's where our fault lies. That's how darkness corrupts. I can't ignore it any longer. Keeping Anna away will only cause her obsession to grow, and the darkness will find her. I must find her first. The decryption code worked. There's enough stasis research in here to hold us over for now, but there's a lot yet to decipher. And Anna should be here when we do. I'll let you know what's next, once I make sense of it all.
There's a lot to unpack there. Elsie says quite a bit. In case it wasn't immediately obvious, but just kind of putting it out there once again, the Anna she's talking about is indeed the Anna Bray from the Mars Warmind expansion, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of her in the future. But yeah, they're sisters, and again, I don't know if I can stress that enough. I know the game's kind of given context clues, but I always worry that some people might not have caught onto it by now. Yes, they are indeed sisters. Half-sisters, I guess, is more apt to say, and obviously from separate timelines also further complicates things. But we're going to go talk to the Exo-Stranger now, who I think, you know, for all of the storytelling faults that this DLC might have, and the fact that Aramis is kind of a weak villain, Elsie's voice actress just gives her such a commanding presence, and the way she delivers her dialogue, I mean, she's always been great. You know, she was also Carlia in Skyrim with the Thieves Guild Thieves Guild quest, excuse me. So she's pretty prolific, and she's been in a bunch of other things as well. That's just the first thing that comes off the top of my head, but let's talk to her. The Exo-Stranger seems lost in thought when you approach, but your presence quickly snaps her out of it. I've sent a message to Anna. I can only hope she receives it well. Assuming she has any desire to speak to me, we will hopefully be seeing her soon. The Exo-Stranger's demeanor shifts. Excitement is on the horizon. In more hopeful news, Decrypting Clovis' journal has yielded yet another opportunity to enhance your stasis powers. I can't wait to see what you do with it.
Thanks for your help last time. I was able to decrypt a portion of the journal with what we found, and it's even more unsavory than I ever knew. Amongst the madness, however, it appears our efforts were not in vain. Clovis hadn't just found stasis, he'd enhanced it. Fortunately for the world, he didn't know how to use it. Just sat in a lab somewhere until the collapse, like so many of his experiments. Decrypting the remainder of his journal should point us in the direction of that knowledge. And I know where we can do just that.
All right, we have our next step in Born in Darkness Part 3 immediately after the fact. This was obviously a week-to-week quest back when Beyond Light came out, so you would have gotten... there would have been a week between the finishing the quest and getting the dialogue and whatnot, so which is why it seems a little bit jarring here, but anyway. Decrypting a portion of the journal has yielded more stasis knowledge. It's only a matter of time before you know all of what Clovis knew. There is work yet to be done in pages so to decrypt further, understand, and acquire all that Clovis knew about stasis. In order to further decrypt the journal, you need to empower the skeleton key with stasis energy. Follow the Exo-Stranger's guidance to empower the skeleton key. Defeat Vex and Fallen on Europa for their residual darkness energy. Use stasis abilities against combatants on Europa. So, very simple. We just need to kill lots of Vex and Fallen, and this will get us our Cold Snap Grenade, the final of 3 grenades. But before I end this episode, I might as well demonstrate really quickly our new grenade, which is the Duskfield grenade. So, why don't we equip that? Now, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, but Duskfield grenade isn't all that great. It used to be the default, by far best grenade out of the 3 until it got absolutely nerfed into oblivion. So Duskfield grenade is an area of effect grenade. Think something like a vortex or a solar grenade, although I think vortex is a little bit more apt because it's meant to sort of centralize its damage. Now, there is an aspect that we don't have that makes Duskfield a little bit better than it currently is, but it's still a relatively weak grenade in comparison. But what you need to do is you need to get a group of enemies together, and you want to throw the Duskfield grenade around them, and then I will demonstrate exactly how this works. What it initially does is it slows them down, and if they're stuck in the Duskfield long enough, it will freeze them. We've actually dealt with this effect from bosses and the like, so it's not like it's something completely new. It's just, yeah, we haven't actually used this for ourselves. But originally, Let's throw it there. Originally, this would actually have more of a pull effect. Now, that wasn't really a great demonstration because that Vex was already so weak it just died immediately. But if I can get another one going, since we are in Stasis Regeneration Town, I should be able to show this off again. Let's see. Okay, let's try. Ooh, here we go. This is actually a perfect opportunity. So let's try it on these now as I throw it. Now, originally, the Duskfield grenade would actually... the Duskfield grenade would actually pull enemies into it, which made it a lot stronger. But this was one of the aspects that Bungie nerfed pretty heavily. So you kind of just have to throw it in the area of effect and then hope they eventually freeze, which, if I could be honest with you, the Glacier grenade just does that and more. So there's absolutely no reason to try to get it out of the Duskfield grenade when it's just a slower effect. So, like I said, not a huge fan personally of that grenade. I would advise against picking it at all times and stick with your Glacier grenade. And actually, this next one we're about to get, the Cold Snap grenade, is also better for various reasons. So, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Destiny. Thank you all so much for watching. Next episode, we're going to continue working on the Born in Darkness quest, although sort of passively. And we're also going to, if you remember correctly, for Lost Lament, we need to locate the giant Exo hidden in the Exo facility, which is what we will be focusing on more than anything in the next episode. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.